what was it like shooting amidst COVID? Because I know that's got to be a kind of a nerve wracking thing. I would assume people were masked up and and whatnot, but I know that not not everyone agrees with masks and being vaccinated and things of that nature. So was that like a difficult made things more difficult shooting amidst COVID? Oh, your mic is out
Oh,
again. Sorry.
Discord.
Am I back?
There you go. Yes.
Yes. We're gonna have
Um,
a very, very, very stern talk with Discord later.
Yes. Goodness.
no, what were we saying? Oh yeah, the masks and everything.
Mhm.
No, I mean well, first of all, we were very lucky that we never had to shut down. Because there was a
Yeah.
lot of other movies shooting in Atlanta at the same time where I heard about like, oh, now the lead got COVID, or now the director got COVID, and they had to shut down. We never had to shut down, uh, but it was very strange because I think the mood was a little bit different as well when you can't see people's faces. Because what
Right.
happened towards the end of it, they actually changed the rules so that if you're vaccinated and where you're shooting outside, you don't have to wear masks. So all of a
Mm.
sudden, you show up on set one day and no one's wearing masks, and it's like, and I realized that, oh, I had no idea what the people who I've worked with for months now, what they actually look like. Like, in my head, I made up like, oh, how the bottom half of their faces look like, and I was so wrong. So it was hard to recognize people. But the mood was so good. I think like you kind of need to see faces and see smiles and things like that. Like it was
Mhm.
just, yeah, it was a big difference. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it was a little bit weird. Like, then you get tested 3 times a week, and yeah, you
Oh
have to wear the
Mhm.
gosh.
masks, and yeah, and we've been getting tested 3 times a week during post as well. But now it's just once a week.
That's
Uh,
good.
so it's weird, but it was doable. And like I said, we were very lucky. Like towards the end of the shoot, where it's like, oh, I just longing to go back home. Like it's been a long shoot and everything. It's like, please don't let like Zach get COVID or something, and we have to shut down now. When we're
Yeah,
so
that
close to
would
being
suck.
done. But yeah, it worked out.
Honestly, my head, like this is where my head goes, obviously. But when you were saying, "Oh, I don't know what people look like," they take their mask off, and I just had this idea that you're standing there, like looking up at Zachary Levi, like I didn't know what you looked like this whole time. And I was just imagining your face in awe, because my face would have been in awe. But yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to tell him that I'm thirsting. But look at
Yeah.
my face, like
No, it's funny
Goodness.
because you get so used to masks that
yeah.
we've discovered in the movie, like, oh, there's one of the extras still has a mask on, like in
Mm.
a couple of shots, which no one noticed on the day because it's just such a normal thing. But now we have to like paint them out of the movie so people aren't walking around with masks.
Uh,
Goodness. Do you ever, or I know like this kind of happened because they're like, oh, you're a good director. Let's do Shazam. Are there any genres that you're looking to direct that aren't you haven't done yet?
Sci-fi, definitely.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I love sci-fi. Or the sort of grounded kind of sci-fi, not necessarily like big space battles, but like your, source code or that
mm,
type of movie, or
Oh yeah,
you know,
that was a
I
good
love
one.
that stuff. Yeah, so that's definitely something I want to do, and more horror, but I'm also open to like I want to try all kinds of things.
That
so
sounds
is
good.
that something?
I'm happy
Oh,
to see
sorry. Go
a
ahead.
no, I was just saying I'd be happy to see a sci-fi movie that you direct.
Yeah, me too.
Is that because I was reading that you I think you started your own production company or something along
Yeah,
those lines. Is that mainly for horror or is that where you're going to test out the different genres and sort of direct those
it's
there?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely horror to start with, and
Okay,
then we'll branch out from there, I guess. Yeah.
awesome. So is that is it potentially in the air that we're going to get Lights Out too? Because I'm personally looking forward to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it might still happen. We had a script at one point, but
Mm.
it's like it's been so long now that like Gabriel, who plays the kid, I mean, he's so old now. I mean, he's basically going to be an adult. So I think you'd have to,
Recast.
yeah, recast it. No, I think we would just play into it. But
Yeah.
no, we'll see. At the moment, it's not much happening with it, but who knows? I know, Warner Brothers, they want a bunch of movies for HBO Max and stuff like that. So it could be a thing for that, maybe. I don't know.
Well, speaking of HBO Max, how did you feel about they were doing the run where their movies would come out in theater and on the app. I know a lot of directors they weren't happy about that. I mean, granted, your movie kind of fell outside of that span. How did you feel about the movies going to the app as well as in the theater?
I'm born. I mean, because I do love theatrical, and I want movies to be released theatrically, but at the same time, it feels like that is the future we're going towards. And it's like, I love video stores and arcades as well, and they're gone. So it feels kind of like that's where we're going, which I'm not super psyched about. But to me, like, I'd be okay with doing movies that go straight to like HBO Max or something like that. To me, the important thing is that there's still a physical release as well.
Okay.
Because for two reasons. I mean, one, it's like there was a movie on Shudder that I wanted to watch, and while Shudder is great, there's video and audio quality is not the best because they're kind of a smaller service. So
Right.
I was watching this horror movie and it's dark and it gets all blocky, because the code, can't keep up. So I was like, I don't want to watch it like this. So I went to iTunes. I was like, I'll just buy it on iTunes instead because they're better quality. But it wasn't available. It's like, oh shit. Well, maybe I'll see if there's a Blu-ray. But no, because it's a streaming exclusive. So the only way to see it is that way. And another thing is the thing where they can change or update or take movies away even after you bought them. For example, like on iTunes, I mean, most of the time it's great because, like, if you buy a movie in HD, for example, and then it gets released in 4K, then you automatically get the 4K now when you try to watch it.
Nice.
Which usually is great. But sometimes when they do a remaster, they change the colors or they change the sound or something. So now the movie that you bought doesn't look the way it did when you bought it. And you may hate that. You may want to have the original version, and they can pull movies that you have in your library. And so I think physical releases are important, not just because the quality is still better than streaming, but just because then you have like a snapshot of the movie from that time, So, yeah.
I feel that way with Netflix, and there was a bunch of films like His House, the horror film on there, which I love, and I can't buy it anywhere. Netflix, please. And then also like I was trying to find a copy of Pontypool, and I couldn't. Like I either it wasn't I couldn't find like the disc copy, or I finally found it, I think, on iTunes, but because of I have like the movies everywhere type of thing. I was hoping to find it on other apps because if they pull that film, I'm just like, well, I can't watch it, like I want to anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that's the worst when you're like, I have money. I want to give you the money for the movie. Just let me do that, But no, some movies you just can't get a hold of except for like piracy,